What's up, YouTube family? Today I'll be demonstrating on how to do a medium fade. But first off, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Now let's get it. First off, I'm gonna start by slapping the number 1 on my clipper, and I'm gonna go with the grain, as this is still gonna leave it wavelength. And make sure you're going all around, leaving it all even so you know what you're gonna fade into. And remember to consistently be brushing the hair. So now I'm gonna get the 1 and put it on my wall seniors and bring it down to a 1.5. And right here I'm just gonna be removing some of the bulk from the sides just so I can get a clearer view when I create my first bald guideline. Now I'm gonna remove the 1 guard and bring the lever up to a 0 and create my first guideline. And make sure this guideline is really consistent and straight, just so the fade could be even. Now using the Gamma Skin by Taylor Cuts, this is a 00, and right here I'm just going to be removing the bottom bulk of the hair right before I do the shaver. And I highly recommend this clipper just because it's really sharp, and for the people that get irritated with the shaver, this is perfect before using the shaver, as it's going to leave it closer to the skin. Now that I have balded the bottom of the hair, I'm going to be going with my wall shaver, and this is just going to finish off balding the bottom of the haircut. And I'm going to just be going over, and before hitting the guideline I'm going to flick up just so I don't create another guideline. And the 000 guideline is one of the hardest to remove, so I recommend either going downwards right here, as you guys can see when I hit the line, or lifting it up. Now our next step, after we created the 0 guideline, we're going to be bringing down the lever to a 1/2 and going up about 1/2 inch, creating another guideline that is going to fade after from the 1/2 to a 1. But before we start fading from the 1/2 to a 1, as you guys can see, there's a small guideline right here that is between the 0 and the 1/2. So I'm just going to bring up the lever a little bit and use the corners of the blade to fade that guideline in. And as you guys can see, my client was falling asleep. Remember, if your client's falling asleep, to hold his head, you don't want to mess up his haircut. So continuing to fade that guideline in with the corner of the blade. As you guys can also see, I'm stretching out the skin as it helps fade the line, just because it's one of the bald guidelines. As you guys can see right here, the client's hair pattern is different, so right here I'm just going to be going against it in order to fade out that bald guideline. Moving on here, I'm going to be using the 1/2 guard to go up just about 1/2 inch up and creating another guideline, and here I'm going against the hair growth pattern. Now here I'm going to be going back to the 1 guard and going up just a little bit with a 1 before I fade it in to a 1.5, which that's what we have done on top of the hair, so it's just going to fade right in. And what I'm doing here is basically going over the haircut, just trying to remove some of the lines and the bulk. So now with our 1.5 guard, and when you bring down the lever, it's going to turn into a 2. I'm just going to go straight into the crown, and that's going to be our last guideline that we're going to fade in, which is going to match up to the top. Now I can't stress this enough, but detail is key. Make sure you guys are detailing the haircut right here. I'm just going to be going over to remove the longer hairs that are sticking out, as you guys can see right here, and just trying to finish off blending the hair, removing the darker spots, going against the grain with the 1/2. And remember, there's different ways of detailing the haircut. It's actually your choice and what helps you guys, but I'm going to be demonstrating also detailing the haircut with the comb, as it's going to get rid of those dark spots that the 1/2 didn't get rid of, and just going over it. And remember to always comb down the hair, just because it's waves. And here I'm only demonstrating what works for me. You know, this is why I love barbering, just because there's always different ways to fading and creating your style, what makes you guys feel comfortable and help you guys out. So here we're gonna jump to the lineup. I'm gonna go from the middle to the right first and just going over little by little, just trying to detail it. Now what I'm doing here is stretching out the skin away from the clipper and going against the hair with the babyless trimmer. Now here, going to the next side, I'm still detailing the haircut just to match the other side. So now I'm gonna go to the left and go little by little, just trying to detail the haircut while I'm at it. And like I said on my previous videos, these are my hitters. These are sharpened. I get them sharpened by, you can find her on Instagram by the Barber Reese. She does amazing sharpening. I buy all my clippers from her. Also, if you guys follow her on Instagram, she does do deals, daily deals on clippers, and you could for real get them for the low. Now, as you guys can see, this lineup was crispy, looking fire, ready to go. But we're not done. We still got to do the razor. So here I'm going to be stretching out the skin, going against the hair, as it's just going to get it sharper, a cleaner look, and a crispier line. And the reason why I keep on saying stretching the skin, it's not only just to get a crispier look, but it's also going to save you from cutting the client's skin, just because it's not going to move with the blade. So I did apply some spritz and let it dry. Now I sprayed some water just to go over it with the blade. Here I'm going against the widow's peak. And remember, the razor is just going to give it those finishing touches. The real work is with the trimmers. So just make sure you have a good set of trimmers right there, even if it's just for the lineup. And I usually just have another trimmer to remove the bulk, which I just recently switched over to the one I showed you guys previously, that was the skin. So here now I'm just gonna finish going over the haircut with the razor. You guys can see I'm stretching out the skin, going over it lightly. You do not need to apply pressure to the razor. That's even on the lineup, beard, wherever you're doing the razor, it should just glide on its own. And remember, not every client gets the razor on the neck. Just because the neck is a real sensitive area, this is why it's important to consultate with your client before the haircut and ask them if they get bumps usually, or if it gets irritated. So here you guys go, the final results of a medium bald fade with the number 1 on top, wavelength. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content. Thank you guys.